Right now at 9, the latest polling statistics ahead of the Missouri primary on abortion. Plus, KCU Joplin hosts their first white coat ceremony in 2 years. And an area artist shares his passion for his newly painted Black History mural.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. 3 days before the Missouri primary election, we're getting a picture of where voters might stand. KOAM is partnering with other TV stations in Missouri that are owned by Gray Television for a series of polls on a variety of races and topics. The online survey of 2,400 Missouri adults was conducted earlier this week by Survey USA. Tonight, we look at a number of issues, including abortion. 28% of those polled said that abortion should be legally permitted with some limitations. 31% said illegal except for in certain instances. About a quarter said abortion should always be legally permitted, and 10% said it should always be illegal. Participants also asked if they support the Missouri law now in effect, which bans all abortions. 63% oppose that law, 22% are supporters of it, 15% weren't sure if they oppose or support it. We'll have Missouri pollers' thoughts on recreational marijuana and law enforcement funding later in the show. As the countdown to the midterms continues, a competitive Republican Senate primary in Missouri is coming down to the wire. Over a dozen contenders are vying for their party's nomination and the chance to succeed retiring Senator Roy Blunt. Fox News correspondent Hillary Vaughn has the latest on the race.
The Missouri Senate Republican primary has become a contest over who is tougher on China. Republicans running to replace retiring Missouri Senator Roy Blunt are flexing their America First records. 6th-term Congresswoman Vicki Hartzler tells me she's so tough on China, she got sanctioned.
I'm the only candidate who has been sanctioned by China. Eric Schmidt, on the other hand, when he was in the state legislature, he actually tried to give over $400 million of our state tax dollars to companies and to have a China come here into Missouri and form a China hub.
Current frontrunner, Missouri's Attorney General Eric Schmidt, has also been criticized for voting for a bill that allowed foreign businesses, including Chinese companies, to own limited amounts of Missouri farmland. Do you regret supporting those two things?
Well, those are distortions of my record. I've clearly fought for more exports. I've fought for more American jobs. And so those are desperate attacks by my opponents who have a lot to hide in their own record, which is why they're sinking in the polls. I was the first attorney general in the country to sue Communist China for releasing the coronavirus on the world. And I think we need a tough on China senator from Missouri.
Schmidt says if he wins the seat, he will follow through and make sure that Congress finally gets to the bottom of the origins of COVID-19. Schmidt says it's former Missouri Governor Eric Greitens, who resigned from the job amid sexual misconduct allegations, who is cozy with China, calling out a trip Greitens took to Beijing in 2017, where Greitens hyped the importance of Missouri's trade relationship with China on Chinese TV. Greitens tells me, as a former Navy SEAL, he's put his life on the line for America First.
There's only one candidate in this race who was arrested for teaching about the United States Constitution in China, and that was me. I have always stood up for American values, and I've been willing to put my life on the line for it.
A lot of voters are still undecided and even open to changing their mind before primary day. Former President Donald Trump has yet to officially endorse in this race, but if he does weigh in, that endorsement will have a lot of weight. In Sikeston, Missouri, Hillary Vaughn, Fox News.
Be sure to download the KOAM News app for all your election needs. You can also go to our website for election information at koamnewsnow.com/elections. The website will include resources for all of the 4-state area, such as polling places, deadlines, dates, and you can even check to see if you're registered to vote. Once again, that's koamnewsnow.com/elections. Now Sam Lane joins us for the look at first weather.
Thank you very much, Jalen. It's been a beautiful day across the area. A little bit of rain, a little bit of sun, very pleasant temperatures. And we have a pleasant sky cam right now on Joplin's range line. And we had a high of only 79 today. Can you believe that? Late July, only 79 for your high. Well below normal of 91. And it's nice to have that change. We've been seeing close to record temperatures earlier in the week, but not today. Instead, we've had some pretty nice weather. We had the rain this morning, rapidly moving off towards the east. We have just a few scattered showers left. Let's zoom down to those and show you what's going on. Right around the Stockton Lake area, a few scattered showers right now. We are expecting rain to develop again later on tonight, and that's pretty good news. We only had about 47 hundredths this morning. That puts us at a little bit over an inch for the month, and we're still above normal for the year, but that doesn't change the fact that we are still in a drought, in fact, extreme drought, covering a large part of the 4 states. And the big question is more rain on the way? I'll have the answer to that in your forecast coming up in just a few.
The white coat ceremony starts the journey for a medical school student. KCU Joplin had 2 white coat ceremonies today for the classes of 2025 and 2026. The university says the ceremony is especially meaningful to KCU in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic that demonstrated an urgent need for more physicians and exposed inequities in healthcare.
It's worked so hard to get here, and to have this moment to kind of symbolize all of our hard work and our dedication up till now was really exciting, but also, you know, it kind of symbolizes a lot of hard work to go. So
the students will go on to pursue osteopathic medicine. The Black History and Performing Arts mural on 1st and Main in downtown Joplin is finally finished. It depicts individuals who played, performed, and visited Joplin. Langston Hughes and Charles McPherson, who are in the mural, were born in Joplin. Other notable individuals in the mural include Scott Joplin, Duke Ellington, Marian Anderson, Ella Fitzgerald, and so many more.
I think what gives me the most joy is knowing that God is working through my hands. So I thank Him for blessing the work that He's done with my hands, and the happiness and the joy really that people, it's genuine, you know, people sort of tear up a little bit. So it's genuine joy.
The mural was painted by Alexander Austin, and there was a celebration for the mural this evening. We take this time to honor one of our 4 state heroes, Staff Sergeant Randy Holt. Staff Sergeant Holt served in Iraq from 2022 till 2004. From 2002 till 2004. He also served as infantry team leader and track commander. He earned the Global War on Terrorism ribbon and 4 Army Achievement Medals. A Galena, Kansas native, Staff Sergeant Randy Holt, we thank you, our 4 state hero. Coming up, the latest on President Biden testing positive for COVID once again. A British mathematician believes she has come up with the perfect formula to wake up on the right side of the bed. This is the formula Anne-Marie Imfiden says she came up with that will contribute to a positive start in the morning. Her formula takes into account the minutes you spend eating breakfast, exercising, and showering, along with how long you sleep, how much time it takes for you to get ready, and how far you are from bed at a certain time. All of it eventually should add up to 37 minutes or more, the ideal number of minutes you need for a good start to the day. President Biden tests positive for COVID once again, his doctor calling it a rebound from the treatment Paxlovid. He says the president has no new symptoms, but will return to isolation. The president's reinfection coming just days after he began testing negative following his first case of COVID and came out of isolation to resume his normal duties. Fox News correspondent David Spunt has details.
This is something we did not expect here at the White House on this Saturday. The president testing positive for COVID-19 once again. The White House just a few hours ago put out guidance that the president would be traveling to Michigan on Tuesday. He was supposed to go to Delaware on Sunday. Both of those trips have been canceled. This is the official letter from the White House physician, Dr. Kevin O'Connor. He said in part, after testing negative on Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, and Friday morning, the president tested positive late Saturday morning by antigen testing. This, in fact, represents rebound positivity. The president has experienced no reemergence of symptoms and continues to feel quite well. This being the case, there is no reason to reinstate treatment at this time, but we will obviously continue close observation. The president posted this video to his social media accounts Saturday afternoon.
Hey folks, Joe Biden here. Tested positive this morning. Going to be working from home for the next couple of days. And I'm feeling fine. Everything's good. But Commander and I got a lot of work to do.
Since his negative test and return to the public eye early last week, we saw the president at times with a mask, without a mask, and with a mask again, depending on the moment. The president took an antigen test on Saturday, so it is possible this was a false positive, but we are waiting on further guidance from the physician to the president, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, who said the commander-in-chief will isolate until he tests negative once again. At the White House, David Spunt, Fox News.
Sam Lane is next with a full look at the forecast. And later, the latest on the war in Ukraine after a rocket kills dozens at a POW camp.
Well, folks, we had a mixed bag today. We had a little bit of rain, a little bit of sun, and now we have a little bit of clouds and showers out there, but I don't think anyone's going to complain, certainly, about the temperatures. Looking outside right now at the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, you can see just a few altocumulus clouds out there this evening. A beautiful, pleasant evening for everyone to enjoy, and that's pretty good news after the heat that we've been dealing with for the last several weeks. In fact, we had quite a bit of rainfall across the area, especially down to our south in northeastern Oklahoma, stretching from Bartlesville over to Grove, Veneta, down into Bentonville, and extending on down further to the south and east of there. Another little swath of heavy rain just to our north and east, stretching from just south of Nevada over towards Springfield. Not everybody got a real good soaking, but hey, we'll take what we can get, especially after looking at these temperatures over the last month. Just absolutely brutal heat across our area. Today we only made it up to 79, which of course was well below normal, and there's only been 3 days this entire month that we were actually below normal. So like I said, a beautiful day across the area. 36 hours over the trend has been 89 yesterday, then we stayed pretty much in the 70s all day today, and like I said, I don't think anyone's complaining about that. Right now we're looking at 75 here in Joplin, 74 up in Carthage as well as Lamar, a little bit warmer down in Jay where it's 79, and a little bit cooler up to the north for our friends in Iola. Now, we have had higher dew points, and that's because of the rainfall and the moisture in the air, and so as a result we're seeing dew points in the low to mid 70s right now, and of course that makes it feel a little bit muggy, even downright soupy as we get close to 75-degree dew point. But like I said, at least it's pleasant out there as far as the skies go. Right now in Joplin, we're sitting at very fair conditions, and satellite and radar combined shows the rain this morning moving off towards the east, just a few scattered showers left. As we zoom down, we can see those showers near Stockton right now. We do expect redevelopment later on tonight, and we're expecting the most of the precipitation is going to be down in Oklahoma, or at least that's where the heaviest amounts of rain could be expected tonight, maybe around 2/10. Maybe a little bit less than that, especially in northwestern Arkansas. They may pick up around ½ an inch. But not everyone's going to get rain tonight. Instead, we're going to see partly to mostly fair skies with lows in the lower 70s. And notice there's a warm front that's going to be lifting towards the north, and that means the warm, hot weather is going to be returning. But tomorrow I think we're going to have a pretty pleasant day with a high of around 87. Then as we go into Monday, partly cloudy skies with a low of around 77, 75 in the morning. And then in the afternoon, watch this, temperatures break 90 degrees once again, around 93 for your high. And Tuesday morning, as we go into the morning hours, we may see a few scattered sprinkles around with a low of around 77. Then as we go into the 7-day forecast, yep, the heat comes back, unfortunately, as we see highs reaching into the upper 90s once again, and maybe even 100 degrees as we go towards Saturday, Jalen. So unfortunately, summer has not given up yet.
Well, even though summer hasn't given up yet, I was able to break out a rain jacket of mine that I've had for about a month that I keep in my car in the event that it does rain.
Wasn't that a nice change?
So today I was like, wow, this might be the day. So I was able to wear it out in the field, and it was pretty nice.
That's right. Hopefully we'll have a few scattered showers in the morning, but unfortunately the faucet's going to be turned off as we head towards the week.
Yeah, we'll have to start staying cool once again, but it was nice having a little bit of rain. All right, thank you, Sam. Coming up, an update out of the capital on Ukraine. A rocket attack on a prisoner of war camp in eastern Ukraine kills dozens and has both sides doing some finger pointing. Fox News correspondent Alex Hogan has that story from the Ukrainian capital.
Moscow and Kyiv both denying responsibility for the attack at a prison in the east housing Ukrainian prisoners of war. At least 50 people are dead and more than 75 people were wounded. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky calling it Russia's latest war crime and an act of terror as loved ones wait for any word, like this woman, Hannah, whose fiancé was taken.
I saw a lot of videos and photos, and I haven't found any fragments or details about him. I can't recognize him among the bodies, among the pieces of human remains.
Meanwhile, in the southern port city of Odessa, 16 ships full of grain remain docked, despite a brokered deal between the U.S. and Russian diplomats yesterday to resume shipments. The grain shortage has triggered a worldwide food crisis. In recent days, Russian forces have launched ground assaults in Kherson. Ground fighting also continued in Kharkiv. The Ukrainian government, however, says that their troops killed more than 100 Russian soldiers in Kherson, Mykolaiv, and Odessa on Friday. Zelensky today attempting to create a sense of solidarity.
No matter what the occupiers do, no matter how they try to break our spirit, we must hold on, be mobilized, and fully focused on what is necessary for our victory.
Russia is ramping up its recruitment of volunteer soldiers. Now men up to the age of 60 with no criminal history are eligible to enlist, and they do not need any previous military experience. This as Russian forces continue to inch forward in the east. In Kyiv, Ukraine, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
Coming up, Cinnamon Toast Crunch has a spicy new twist. And it's time to celebrate one of the greatest desserts known to man. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is coming in hot, literally. Check out this spicy spin on the classic. Cinefuego Toast Crunch is this spicy new take on the cereal. The limited edition cereal takes the cinnamon and sugar combo we all know and love and ups the ante with hot peppers. It's meant for snacking, but a spicy breakfast cereal could really wake you up. This new cereal goes on sale August 12th at walmart.com. Cheesecake lovers rejoice. Every July 30th is National Cheesecake Day, so Saturday is the perfect time to go out and enjoy a slice of America's favorite desserts, or at least one of their favorite desserts. The varieties are endless, so whether you like your slice with a graham cracker crust, with fruits and berries, coffee flavors, etc., or decent chocolate, decadent chocolate, this is the day to indulge. Be sure to take advantage of deals being offered near you in celebration of the day. That's a look at the first half of the KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. And coming up, we take a trip to Joplin to check out its first ever JomoCon. 3 days before the Missouri primary election, we're getting a picture of where voters might stand. KOAM is partnering with other TV stations in Missouri that are owned by Gray Television for a series of polls on a variety of races and topics. The online survey of 2,400 Missouri adults was conducted earlier this week by Survey USA. Tonight, we look at a number of issues, including recreational marijuana and law enforcement funding. Should the use of marijuana for recreational use remain against the law in Missouri? 62% are in favor of legalization, 26% are against it. And for the question, does law enforcement need more funding than it now receives? 52% said yes, they need more funding, and 22% said they should have the same amount, and 11% believe law enforcement needs less funding. You can find more from this poll on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to download the KOAM News app for all your election needs. You can also go to our website for election information at KOAMnewsnow.com/elections. The website will include resources for all of the 4-state areas, such as polling places, deadlines, dates, and you can even check to see if you're registered to vote. Once again, that's KOAMnewsnow.com/elections. If you are a fan of Comic-Con, then you will love JomoCon, as the event is happening for the first time in Joplin. KOAM's Shagun Bomadelli has more for the story.
For the first time ever, Joplin is hosting its first JomoCon, an event similar to Comic-Con?
I think it's really cool because normally we'd have to travel either out of town or out of state, and so this is the first one in town, so it's really cool actually.
I am at the first ever JomoCon in Joplin, where there's been an influx of people who love animes and video games. I spoke to one of the organizers, and he tells me why events like this are important for the anime community.
To give the people of Joplin a taste of that convention experience. Usually you have to travel to Kansas City or St. Louis or Dallas and spend $60, you know, and so we decided to give a small town version of that.
Bright also tells me another reason behind putting together this event.
And so the ticket sales, we're donating a hefty chunk of the ticket sales to Turnaround Ranch to help supply the kids with new like recreational equipment, or maybe even take them on an outing that they sometimes do. So yeah, it's going to benefit the kids of the Turnaround Ranch.
In Joplin, Shagubam Dele, KOAM News.
If I weren't in studio, that's certainly something that I would love to be a part of. The event will host voice actor John Gramillion, who is featured in animes My Hero Academia and One Piece. And now Sam Lane joins us.
Thank you very much, Jalen. It's been a beautiful day across the area. It felt like fall instead of the late July, but I think we'll take it after the summer that we have had so far. This afternoon, we only made it up to 79 degrees, which was well below the normals of 91. And of course, we weren't anywhere close to that record of 107 set back in 1986. We also picked up just a little bit under half an inch of rain this morning, but you can see on radar, most of the rain is now moved off towards the east, but there could be redevelopment later on tonight, and that is good news. We have a few showers still in our area around Stockton Lake right now, but that is about it. But we do expect more to come in, and as I showed you earlier, we had about a little bit of 47/100ths of an inch, puts us a little over an inch for the month, and for the year, we're still above normal, but of course, most of that fell in a very short period of time, and we have been dry ever since. Temperatures this afternoon were very pleasant across the area. We're sitting at 76 right now. Notice the heat has been shoved way down into Texas, but don't worry, the heat is coming back, and I'll tell you when we have the forecast in just a few short minutes.
A U.S. senator is questioning two tech giants over fake apps he says are designed to defraud investors. Senator Sherrod Brown sent letters to the heads of Apple and Alphabet, the parent company of Google, this week. His letters requested information from Apple and Alphabet about their mobile application safeguards, as well as information about how the two companies keep fake cryptocurrency apps out of their app stores. According to Brown, the FBI warned that fake crypto apps have scammed hundreds of investors to the tune of more than $42 million. Twitter's lawsuit against Elon Musk is set to go on trial this fall. A Delaware judge issued an order for the trial dates late. The judge ruled the trial will begin on October 17th, which is later than Twitter wanted, but it also a lot earlier than the 2023 date that Elon Musk legal team had pushed for. Twitter is suing Musk in an effort to force the billionaire businessman to follow through with his proposed deal to buy the social media company. Musk said he now wants to terminate their agreement, alleging Twitter breached multiple provisions in the deal. The Biden administration going back on a campaign promise for fortifying the border wall as the surge of migrants continues. CBP reporting massive gaps in the wall, like the ones seen here in Yuma, Arizona, and enabling migrants to enter the country essentially unimpeded. Fox News correspondent Steve Harrigan has the story.
The Biden administration promised during the campaign that they would build no more border walls. That changed Thursday. The Department of Homeland Security giving the green light to fill in gaps around border walls in Yuma, Arizona. Those gaps have long been an eyesore, seen as a visible symbol of the failure of immigration policy. They've also been one of the busiest crossing points in the entire U.S., people flying from around the world to cross between those gaps. The reason given by the administration to build those walls, that would be safety, both for the border agents as well as migrants, many of whom slip, fall, and sometimes drown in that location. But the administration is insisting this is not an about face.
It's ineffective. We are not finishing a wall. We are cleaning up the mess that the last administration made.
As for Arizona officials, the details still not clear on when construction will begin, but they say they are grateful for whatever they can get.
It won't look like the Trump wall. It'll probably be a more of a different type of barrier, but a positive barrier in any case. Will be a big and a dramatic improvement for that section of the border where we have just a lot of people coming through. About 50% of the traffic in Yuma sector comes through that one area.
Meantime, here in Eagle Pass, the crossings continue. Earlier today, the Fox drone team came upon a group of about 300 people crossing the river, scrambling up the side, waiting to be processed. Just a short time ago behind me, 3 young men crossed. It looked like a typical Saturday outing that they'd done many times in the past, swimming across a steep current, one arm up in the air, holding phones to keep dry. After those who cross the river come to shore, they generally wait calmly for hours to be processed. Sometimes asylum cases can stretch on for years. In Eagle Pass, Texas, Steve Harrigan, Fox News.
Coming up, the latest on the Mega Millions lottery ticket winner and where it was sold. The Mega Millions mania culminates with one very lucky person hitting the jackpot after buying a ticket in Illinois. The winner walking away with the 3rd largest lottery haul in U.S. history, worth more than $1 billion. Fox News correspondent Nate Foy has that story.
The winning ticket for the jackpot, worth $1.34 billion, actually grew last night because of last-minute ticket sales. We still don't know exactly who won the jackpot or if they even know they won it, but we do know where the winning ticket was sold. Take a look here. It was at this Speedway gas station about 20 miles outside Chicago. The gas station itself will get $500,000 in cash. The state of Illinois will get over $63 million in tax money. But the lucky winner is taking home a whole lot more. The question is, who are they?
We've seen that the players tend to take more time because they want to make sure that they get their affairs in order and sort of go about it in hopefully a strategic way for them and their family.
So the winner has 1 year to collect the prize, the top prize, but only 60 days to select a lump sum cash payment if they choose, which in this case would be $780 million. There were also 26 secondary winners who won at least $1 million. But the chances of winning the jackpot were 1 in 303 million. It was the 3rd largest U.S. jackpot ever and the 2nd largest Mega Millions jackpot in the game's 20-year history. And of course, it had a lot of people dreaming about what they would do if they won all that money. Listen to this guy.
I'm going to have a moped, though. I'm going to have a driver with a moped. So then I'll be like a chariot. They'll bring me in. Like the people here, when you go into like the Central Park, they drive you there with the bike. I'm going to have a whole moped. Yeah, and I'm going to be tossing money out the sky.
Before this drawing, there had been 29 consecutive drawings without somebody winning the jackpot. Now that someone has, the jackpot goes back down to 20 million, and then it grows gradually based on the game's sales. Reporting in New York, Nate Foy, Fox News.
Sam Lane is back with another look at the weather, and later we hear from a local competitive knife thrower who had a high placing in the U.S. Open.
Well, friends, this morning we had some rain, we had some clouds, but by afternoon the sun came out, but the temperatures remained very pleasant, and that's pretty good news. Right now on the sky cam down in Seneca, Missouri, you can see just a band of altocumulus clouds with our Indigo Sky and Casino Resort. Pretty pleasant evening out there across the entire 4-state area. This morning we had quite a bit of rainfall, especially down to the south and northeastern Oklahoma, extending into northwestern Arkansas. Another swath of heavier rain just north and east of Joplin, down towards Springfield, just to the east of Branson. But everyone got a little bit of something, but we certainly could use more rain in the bucket, especially after the month that we've had. This is just a recap. Look at the temperatures above normal. 25 days so far this month above normal, and only 3, including today, were below normal. And I think we could use the break. I think everyone enjoyed it. You can see 36 hours. Over the last 36 hours, we topped out at about 89 yesterday, and then we saw temperatures mainly staying in the 70s this afternoon. And we're still in the 70s right now. Here in Joplin, 75, 73 up the road in Stockton, 71 in Inola. And down to the south, we're looking at 77 degrees currently in Jay. Dew points, though, they've been on the increase, and that's because of the moisture that we've had, but I don't think anyone's really going to complain too much. With the dew points in the 70s, it's kind of feeling a little bit muggy out there. maybe even a little bit soupy once you get up towards 75 degrees on the dew point. But the moisture is helping out as far as the temperatures go, as well as the vegetation. Right now in Joplin, we're sitting in the 70s, and it's going to be that way for the rest of this evening. We have the showers moving off towards the east. You can see a few little sprinkles up there near Nevada and Stockton. We expect redevelopment perhaps later on tonight, especially down in Oklahoma, but we're watching these showers north of Stockton starting to fall apart just a little bit. Here's a look at the forecast for tonight on the rainfall amounts. Again, the higher amounts are expected to be down to the south in northeastern Oklahoma, extending over into northwestern Arkansas, where they could pick up to around half an inch for our friends down in Rogers. Temperatures this evening are going to be dropping down into the 70s to around 71, 73 tomorrow morning. Notice the winds are going to be turning back around to the south, and that means the warm front's going to be moving northward, and that means the hot, sticky weather is going to be building back into our area as we go through Monday. In fact, we're seeing temperatures in the mid-70s on Monday morning, and then by Monday afternoon, we're going to be seeing highs right again around 93 degrees, and it only gets hotter from there, unfortunately, as we head into Tuesday. Maybe a morning sprinkle or two down in Oklahoma with a low of around 77. Your next 7 days looks like this: 92 on Monday, 96 on Tuesday, 98 on Wednesday, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it except forecast 100 degrees next Saturday. And unfortunately, if you look at the long range, it only gets worse from there. 101 on Sunday, 102 on Monday. So it looks like, Jalen, summer has not given up the ghost yet.
So when I see those graphics, there's two things I think of. I don't know if you're an Ed Sheeran fan, but he has a song called I See Fire. So when I see all the hot days on there, that's what I'm thinking of. But then he also has a song called Make It Rain.
Right, that's what we need.
And so that's definitely what we need. So I'm going to be jamming that all week. So hopefully we get some more rainfall.
Hopefully so.
Stop those burns and things of that nature around the 4C. But thank you, Sam.
You're welcome.
Coming up in sports, the Joplin Outlaws face St. Joe Mustangs in the biggest game of their season. Plus, a local competitive knife thrower places in the top 10 at the U.S. Open. Danny Terzer has that and a lot more.
The Joplin Outlaws have a chance to win the program's first ever league title tonight. Joplin and St. Joe are tied at 1 game apiece in a best-of-3 series for the championship. St. Joe gets home field advantage for tonight's decisive Game 3. The Mustangs break it open with 4 runs in the 4th, then 4 more in the 6th. St. Joe cruises to their 3rd straight Mink League title, 11-1 the final. Pittsburgh Post 64 is state champs for the 2nd year in a row. The Patriots shut out the Kansas Senators today, 6-0 in the championship game. Caden Harrison broke a 0-0 tie in the 6th with a 2-run home run. Trevor Amershak was dominant on the mound, throwing 6 scoreless innings. The Patriots advanced to the Mid-South Regional Tournament in Montgomery, Alabama. The Kansas City Royals aim to put an end to a 4-game skid today on the road against the New York Yankees. It's a 4-game set. The Yankees have won the first 2, 1-0 and 11-5. Today, New York off to a hot start. First inning, DJ LeMahieu blasts a leadoff homer off of Jonathan Heasley. Next inning, Aaron Judge at the plate with 1 on. Judge goes deep for a 2-run shot, his MLB leading 42nd home run and 200th of his career. It's 4-0 after 2. The Yankees keep the pressure on. They take Game 3 8-2. The St. Louis Cardinals are in the middle of a series with Washington. The Nationals take their first lead of the game in the 7th off a 3-run homer by Josh Bell, and that will be enough. Cards fall in a close one, 7-6. Pittsburgh's Ben Fowler placed in the top 10 at the World Knife Throwing League U.S. Open earlier this month. Out of 64 competitors, Fowler advanced to the finals and finished in a tie for 5th place. He's been competing in the sport for a little over a year. Fowler picked up knife throwing when recovering from a reconstructive foot surgery that forced him to relearn how to walk. His hard work is paying off, and his finals match will air on ESPN2 this Sunday and Monday.
I was very happy, finishing in the top 8. I felt like that was a great achievement for me. Knife throwing requires a lot of balance and walking and muscle memory, which I needed to relearn recovering from a major foot surgery. And so I was getting good, and I kept practicing and obsessing over the sport. And now my hard work and work ethic has gotten me some recognition on ESPN.
That's a look at sports. We're back after this.
The place where Rose, Dorothy, Sophia, and Blanche sat around delivering famous quotes of the classic TV show is the inspiration for a new pop-up restaurant. Starting in Beverly Hills and heading to more cities, we were able to take a look around the place with its Instagram-ready moments and a variety of cheesecakes. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Bring your pal, your confidant, throw a party, and invite everyone you know. We're at the Golden Girls Kitchen in Beverly Hills, and we're gonna get a look around. This is Derek Berry of Bucket Listers, and love the place.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna ask you to give me a little bit of a tour.
Yes.
And I hope it includes drinks on the lanai.
It will.
Okay, fantastic, let's go.
The goal with this part of the room was that everyone, no matter where you were sat, you felt like you were at the classic table.
Enjoy menu items like Sophia's lasagna, Blanche's Georgia-style cookie, and lots of cheesecake. Tickets are $39 to $55 on bucketlisters.com with an entree and dessert. Add on beverages, sides, and get ready for many photo op moments, including in that famous kitchen.
The crew did such a good job with it, sourcing stuff like this phone and this painting that are identical to the show, and the cookie jar, the calendar. Those things really matter.
There's the Shady Pines Bar, Blanche's bedroom. I feel like this is a big social media moment.
Oh my gosh, it's probably the biggest outside of the kitchen.
Thank you for being a friend. And don't forget to say thank you for being a friend with a pic on the lanai. The classic show is the latest pop culture inspiration for a Bucket Listers pop-up, a trend which keeps on gaining popularity.
We have done Saved by the Max, Good Burger, Breaking Bad, Peach Pit, and most recently one called Movies, which was a Jay and Silent Bob pop-up with Kevin Smith. It's interesting just to see how these things grow. I remember when I started in 2016, there was only a couple of us in this territory, and there's a lot of people now. But to stay in it and relevant, I think you have to reinvent what a pop-up is. And for us, that's doing food and beverage. I mean, we just opened a real restaurant.
After opening in Beverly Hills July 30th, National Golden Girls Day, the experience goes to New York, Miami, San Francisco, and Chicago. Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That is great. My brother's going to love that. He's a big Golden Girls fan.
Yeah, so is my mom. What do we have for weather?
Well, we have some golden moments, that's for sure, today, but it's going to start getting toasty around here once again. Once again, over 100 degrees by the time we reach the weekend, next weekend, and it looks like summer's going to be making a big comeback, and the faucet's going to be turned off. Maybe a few showers Thursday morning, but that is about it.
All right, well, that's our time for now. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you right back here next time. Thanks for making us part of your night, 4 States.